7 days to die. Like I said in the last video, we're going to go over my settings before we hop into the game. So, general, I don't have it listed because I don't want anyone else playing the game. Not in multiplayer. Right now I've got it on scavenger at 120 minutes with 150 because I want to get through the first couple levels. That's the only reason why I have it on scavenger. Once I get to the just before the first blood moon night, I'll put that back to normal and then start playing the game on normal. It's just to get me through the beginning levels up till I get my forge, because that's always the most boring stuff ever since they've changed everything, but that's the way it is now. Everything else is normal except loot spawn. I put it to every 15 days instead of every 30 days because sometimes you don't find a lot of buildings in the beginning, so it's pointless having this on 30 days. Once I find out where like the big town is and everything, this will go back up to 30 days, but until then I'm going to go ahead and leave it as it is. Airdrop, I have it on every 3 days just for the beginning, like the first 30 days. After that I'll put it to 7 days. I always mark the airdrops just because I can't stand just going out and looking for them. It just makes it easier. If I don't go to that day, I always leave a bookmark on the map of where it is. This doesn't matter, but it's only for multiplayer, so let's go ahead and hop into the game. This shouldn't take long to load. And if you remember, last time we ended up where I finished, or I was at the trader finishing up and looking at 2 houses on the horizon of where I could set up a starter base just to get me going. So that's where we'll head off first once the game loads up. I'm going to leave all the loot at the trader for right now because the loot won't disappear. When I leave it there, the loot will never disappear. The only thing it changes is after 15 days, if there's stuff still in it, then it won't respawn. That's a trick everybody knows. If you're looting something, even if you don't need it, pull it out, drop it on the floor. It'll disappear after a few minutes or so. But when the next loot cycle comes around, it'll respawn stuff in it. That way you don't lose anything. So that's always useful. And here we go. I hope. Come on. Hopefully by the end of the episode it'll be towards nighttime, and I'll go over all the skills in more detail of how you want to, or how you can set up your character. Not necessarily the way you have to set it up, but just the way you can set up a character. So we're going to go jump onto it. And ooh, I forgot zombies respawn too. You got to be careful. I don't see any over there. Alright, we got 2 houses to check out. So let's beat his brains in. Ow, he got us. Bad zombie. Alright. So we've got this house on the right and this house on the left. Both look like 2-story houses, but this one looks slightly smaller, I think. Maybe. Ooh. Zombie. And I missed. I missed again. And no, I didn't miss. Alright. So here we go. We've got that house. Actually, that's a 1-story house. That one's a 2-story with a shed. So that one's gonna probably be a loot house later. And this will definitely be the house we'll probably be staying in. Oh, there's a fire barrel. Oh wow, there's a lot of zombies roaming around. Hey guys, I'm about to go in this house and I don't need you messing up my time, so if you could just kind of die for me, it'd be great. Alright, and boom, you're dead. Okay. Oh, that one's got an outhouse. Nice. Ooh, there's another one back there too. Okay. There's a couple houses around here. That's nice. Let's check her. Oh, that's a deer. And it's running. Ah, crap. Yeah, I'm not going to bother going to catch them. Okay, so this one has a basement, which is not really a problem. We can block off basements, so that's easy to do. Okay, the deer stopped. That's nice. How much arrows do I have? 25. I got enough to kill it. I don't need him coming and messing up my raid on this house, because even though it's only one story with possible roof section, which is at all plausible depending on how it was generated, and a basement, I don't need zombies sneaking up from behind me and ruining my day. Oh great, there's a fat zombie too. At least he decided to come over here. Oh, he scared the deer away. You bastard. Oh, that's that. Yeah, that's not good. Item needs repairing while I'm doing this. That's never fun. Okay, repair you. All right, we're good to go. Yeah, that's something you should be careful of. Early game is items. They do need repaired, and you don't want to be caught like I just did, facing a zombie with a weapon you need to repair, which always sucks. Alright, I don't need you, so I'll just drop you. I got plenty of fiber all around here. Okay, so oh, there's the deer. Okay. I've said this before, but early game meat can be very, very scarce, so when you see animals, if you can, try to take them out. Ah, one shot, one kill. Rock on. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get skin and bones here. Alright, cool. Yeah, now I'm over encumbered, but that doesn't bother me because I will be raiding this house and setting up a base, so that's not that big of a deal. As long as I don't get too over encumbered where, you know, you start moving extremely slower, which will always suck. And one more. Oh, come on. Ah, darn it. There we go. And he dead. You're far enough away. I don't have to worry about you. We'll start in the basement, because that's obviously the open way in. And eventually when I make my workstations, that flaming barrel will be an asset, because that makes a chemistry station. Alright, and down for the count. Oh, that's a crawler. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. Crap. Well, that didn't help me at all, did it? He's probably going to fight his way through the floor, so I'm just going to go to the front door. Make this easy since I already woke him up. Come to the front door. Help me destroy it so I can get in, please. Thank you. Or not. Oh, no. Looks like there's a couple of them. Oh, goody, goody. Wow, I'm actually hitting them, and the door's not even broke yet. Yeah, I hate crawlers. Crawlers are a pain. Crawlers are always a pain. Alright, now I'm in here. Okay. Oh, this one's got a table saw. Sweet. Oh. She fell down. Nurse. Alright. Let you get back up. Alright. Okay, nothing in here. Oh, there is a ladder up. Okay. Oh, I woke you up. I don't want to fall off. Get the crawler. Alright, now come off. Because you'll fall down. Gotcha. Got you again. And got you a third time. Rock on. Alrighty, so. That's all the zombies. Anything special up here? Any other zombies? Oh, now that's what I call loot right there. We'll go over that in the next episode. I'm making a short one today, apparently, because everything's blowing up. And I can do that over the nighttime. So we're going to go ahead and retract this, put this in. And the way we do this, for me, I'm going to take it in. We'll go here. Now this normally is not how you do it. I'd put it like in the wall of a PvP base. The only reason I use it in solo games is just it helps zombies not spawn where you are. So that's the reason why I do that. And then I just put that right over it. That way I know where it is. So now that that's done, we're going to go into sneak mode. Can I loot this barrel? No. Darn. Can I loot that? No. Darn. Those are going to be lootable here in a second, but I will get to that in the next video. So we're going to go over skills. Let me just go ahead and just through all this, because this stuff, it just tells you like about the items or whatnot that you go through or put down. So we'll go over this. Perception. Perception is for pretty much ranged weapons. Damage and accuracy is the whole skill tree for the attribute for perception. So it goes all the way to 10. It incrementally increases the points you need as you go up. At first it starts at 1 point, then it goes to 2, 3, 4, and eventually 5. So it goes through that. Now the marksman perk, this is pretty much every single weapon, or it has to do with every weapon in the game as far as ranged weapons. Bows, crossbows, compound bows, pistols, all the guns. So everything that's ranged is in here. Each one gives you a different set of perks. I will go through each one as least clicking on them and then letting you read. Just pause the video, you'll be able to read them. This one's for handguns. This one's for shotguns. This one's for any automatic weapon. The SMGs, AK-47s, and I think there's another one also. This one's for actually aiming and firing with rifles. This one's for the bows and crossbows. This is rocket launchers, and I think that's the only one that actually, well, no, there's exploding crossbow bolts too later on that we'll get into. This one's about damage to the head shots for the zombies, and this one's about shooting and moving at the same time. Then we got scavenger, which is, this adds a loot bonus to your loot that you do when you're scavenging. The way loot bonus works is the better your loot bonus, the possible better items that you can find. Not necessarily loot in general for making things, but like when you find weapons, tools, stuff like that, there's a chance it can be a better item. Now, it won't have any mods with it, but at least if it's a better weapon, then it'll be a, you can add more mods to it. And then salvaging is literally anything you wrench down with a wrench, which we will get into later on. Next is strength. Strength is increased melee damage and block damage. So every time you hit something that you want to destroy or damaging to a zombie in melee combat. Perks is, this reduces the stamina. This is carrying more items. Like when you originally saw all this stuff is locked right here, that perk helps unlock more of those slots for the pack mule. It helps you carry more items. Now, it won't eventually unlock the entire, I think if you get all the way to 5, then you unlock that entire bag and you can carry everything in there and never be encumbered, but it takes a while to get up there because you need strength level 7, so you need to put points into strength and then put points into pack mule. Melee combat is for melee weapons and melee damage. This increases the attack speed. This is for power attacks, and I think it's sharp weapons. So anything that has a point that can make you bleed. This is for knocking the zombies, pretty much making them where they don't come after you. You can kind of knock them out and daze them like they daze you. This is for the heavy weapons, which is pretty much only the sledgehammer right now. So that's the only one for that. And this is for dealing damage to the head for the zombies. Construction Miner 69er is literally made for block damage, for mining, harvesting, all that stuff. How much you harvest from those items that you destroy. So these kind of go hand in hand. You can increase the damage to them as well as increase the harvest from them. Then we got Fortitude. It's all about health. This just increases your health as you get more Fortitude. Heavy armor, it helps with the rating and durability of heavy armor. Huntsman lets you harvest more from animals with the bladed weapon or tool that you use to harvest the animals. Immune system is to help you resist upset stomachs, any of the diseases you can get in the game from doing stupid things like eating raw meat and diseases and stuff like that. While insulated gives you bonuses to heat and cold, which comes real useful later on in the game. This helps you actually get seeds from food items that you find, like blueberries, potatoes, corn, yuccas, aloes, the seeds for when you want to brew different types of teas. So there's a lot of stuff. Mushrooms, it all comes into it. First you get the seeds, and then you slowly start to craft more and more items. There's only one mutated, and that's super corn. And super corn's only good at the beginning of the game because you can't cook it, you can't do anything with it except eat it. And I will show that later. I'll have to go into DM mode, spawn one just to show y'all what it is, but I'm trying not to do that in this game unless both of these are at max, because if I go into DM mode, there's a chance that these could go up to 100% on accident. So pain tolerance helps reduce hit point loss and chances to get stunned. Healing factor is very good beginning levels, but later on when you start getting the better items, then this becomes less and less useful. Slow metabolism is good at any point in the game because it reduces food and water loss up to 50%, which is really nice. And then self-medicated, I believe, is currently locked right now. Yeah, it's disabled. You can't do anything with this. Next is agility, which is all about stamina. It helps you increase your stamina so you can do more continuous activities. Like if you're mining, just continuously mining before you actually get tired and have to stop and wait for this to raise all the way up. Cardio helps when it only increases your stamina when sprinting, is what this is for. Light armor, same as heavy armor. Charging bull is when you're sprinting at an enemy and then swing your club at them to hit them. That's what this is all about. Parkour helps increase your safe falling distance and reduces the stamina of jumping, as well as jumping higher as you get farther down. Olympic swimmer allows you to hold your breath longer and increase your swim speed when you're in the water, and in the water only. Stealth perks, it's all about the ninja. It helps increase your sneakiness, which is what this is right now, is what I'm in, is sneak mode. So it helps with the speed while you're sneaking. This lets you do extra damage while you're sneaking, so if they don't see you and you hit them, it does increase damage. And then hide in the shadows more effectively and reduce the noise while you're moving. So it helps you stay in shadows better. Then you've got your intelligence. This is the crafting tree. Every other level, you pretty much improve the craft quality of what you're crafting. Once you max this out, you craft level 6 items. No matter what you craft, it's level 6. So once you get there, when you're looting items, it becomes less of what you loot as far as item level goes, because you can always sell them to the traders or disassemble them for parts. So once you get here, it's pointless, but it's going to be a while before you hit this. Next is influencing perks. This is for the traders. When you go to traders, it allows you better deals and more money as you're selling or buying from them. So that helps there. And then later on, it helps their loot, the secret stash that they have. One of the big tricks is when you go into this, their loot and their secret stash, when you buy this perk, even if they've just gotten new stuff in, Only their secret stash changes, but when you get this, their secret stash will change, and you can go back to them and look in their secret stash each time. So, like, I would put a point in this, like, after their loot's changed, if there's nothing in there that you want or need, but you want to get the better deals and everything, get this, then go back and look in their secret stash. It will change, and there might be something in there that you actually might want or need. This lets you get more dukes from completing their quest, as well as more options and rewards. This one is more of a multiplayer ability. It serves no purpose in single player because it just helps out your allies. Craftsmen, these are the important ones because these are what let you craft and get things in the game. Hammer and Forge lets you build the forge first and foremost, and that is a very important tool no matter what level in the game you are. It's where you smelt your iron, get your forged iron, forged steel, make bullet tips. It's pretty much an essential item that you have to have. Now, you saw at the trader, it's got every other thing except the forge. So I will have to put a point in this at level 10 to get this forge up and running, because I'm going to need a forge no matter what level. Grease Monkey is for transportation. You don't necessarily have to get these as soon as they're available, because 120, level 85, level 50, level 25. Eventually, you're going to want to buy or put points into this to get mini bike. You don't necessarily have to have the motorcycle, truck, or gyrocopters. All this does is allow you faster modes of transportation and more space for putting items into the vehicle because they have their own storage spaces. It increases each time you get a better vehicle. So when you go to loot something and it's got a lot of loot, this essentially lets you put more stuff to come home with. And I'll show you the trick of how to get all the loot out of a place that you looted, that you really want all the loot from, and kind of help you out. Advanced Engineering gives you the workbench and the cement mixer. It also allows you to make all the weapons, including the turrets, rocket launchers, and tools that you need to do really well in the game, but only the nail gun, the chainsaw, and the auger. These are the only tools in this. Everything else can be done through the Hammer and Forge. Hammer and Forge is all the other tools. So this lets you get all that stuff. Now, you saw that it has the workbench and the cement mixer, so I necessarily don't have to put points in these right away. I can work on other abilities, get them up to what I want, and then come back and start putting points in this so I can get better items. Yes, science is going to be an essential one, not necessarily for the chemistry station that you unlock, but for the actual schematics. The mod schematics that you find for weapons and armor, you have to have science up to that specific tier unlocked so you can make said schematic. Yeah, you'll find mods and you'll find schematics throughout the game, but you won't always find the mods. But you can always find the schematics, but you need this to make the schematics. So that's a very important detail. Physician's all about first aid. So at the beginning of the game, these two are going to be the important ones, doing the first aid bandages and the first aid kits. These aren't necessarily needed, but they do help later on when you start getting the higher hit points. And then Master Chef is going to be another essential because it's unlocking different types of food recipes and teas that you're going to need later on to survive very well, because some of the stuff you make from these really helps replenish your health, stamina, and food and thirst. And those are very important to keep up and running in this game, because when you start to get too hungry or too thirsty, it reflects pretty much your stamina and health in the entire game. As you see, I have 8 points. I haven't put any points in this, which I will do off camera and show you kind of what I'm leaning towards as far as building the character for right now, since I know what the trader has. And being here, I'm not going to be that far from the trader, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. And there's big fields where I can build Horde Knight bases and eventually build my base that's going to be pretty much my, yeah, you're going to come here, I'm going to kill you, but it's got all my other crafting stuff that I need. Important things you also need to know, especially about the forge. In the forge, if you decide that you want to pick it up and move it, it will not pick up any of the materials inside, or the anvil, the crucible, or the tool and die set. If you leave those in, you will lose them. So it's very important to remove all those and then pretty much forge all the stuff out. You don't have to make forged steel per se, but there's the iron scraps that you, I think, yeah, this iron. If you have iron in your forge, you can literally tell it, make iron, and you tell it max, and it will just spit it out as this, which is fine because these, when you're smelting them, each one takes only a second. So it'll take a while to smelt everything back into where you want to move it. But once you move it, you want to make sure that this is where it's going to be. It's not going to move again. That way you don't have to deal with the continuous pull everything out, put everything back in. It gets annoying real fast. Another thing I like to do, there's storage boxes, and then we'll just go ahead and type in box, my bad. There's a storage box. It's the same as that, has the same space as a secured storage chest, I believe. I haven't done too much checking. The only difference is with the storage boxes, it's like this land claim block that I just put down. It's an actual square, like that and that. It's an actual square. So if you want in your base, you can literally, a wall that you know the zombies aren't going to come through, you can take parts of that wall out and put the storage box in, label them, and be nice and organized, which I will show you later because it's going to happen. So you always got to take in consideration of space when it comes to base building, because some people love big bases. I'm the one that likes to try to minimalize as much as possible because I want less storage or less space to really deal with. That way I got more spaces for the traps and zombies to kill themselves on, and a base that they're not going to get in. I'd rather keep everything safe and minimalized than have this huge base and then not be able to defend it because you're only one person. Bigger bases are good on the servers where you're multiplayered because you got more than one person on each wall. So you can have those bigger bases. When you're single player, you don't necessarily want giant bases to begin with. You want something small and easy to defend, because when it starts getting harder and you start getting the radiated zombies, the feral, not the feral, but the really like scary white one that takes so much effort to kill, and then you get cops that spit, and it becomes more and more difficult to actually defend your base. So you want to, if you're doing less running around and more killing zombies, then it becomes easier to defend your base because you don't have to go far. And you'll see as the season goes along how I'm going to build my base for me. That doesn't mean you have to do what I do. I'm just telling you my opinion of what I would like to do compared to what other people like to do. Other people like to build those big bases and defend them with all these different types of things and really go out. I'm going to show you what just surviving in the game's all about, because I'm going to show you how to survive in the game, because that's what this game's about, surviving. Now, that doesn't mean you have to, do what I do, but it does mean that it gives you a little bit more options. You can kind of do what you need to do, and we're getting closer to nightfall, so I'm not worried about doing anything right now. Oh, that needs repair. To repair things, all you have to do is hit A. Now, even when you put a land claim block up in the space, even the stuff in your space will respawn. So if I literally loot these, then in 15 days, if it's still on 15 days, these will respawn. So that's always a nice thing. Oh, jars. Ooh, claw hammer. That's actually a really good item. This, whoa, okay, yeah, that's a really good find. What are in the, okay, 2 9mm, that's not bad. And I'll loot the rest of the place also on camera with y'all, so y'all won't miss that. I'm wondering why I'm, oh, right, because the block's not perfectly level with this. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So, that's all for this video. I am Jason, also known as Halo Wraith, and this was Blackfire Gaming Channel. Thank you for watching. If you feel like subscribing, hit that sub notification with that bell so you can get the content as it comes out. Stay along with me for the season. If you liked the episode, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. If you got comments, please leave them below. I will answer all comments when they're left. This is Halo Wraith saying thank you and have a good day.